Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of Healing Stars. This is a chart. It's London, British summertime, and it's at 2030 on the 16th of October. I'm using whole signs to represent the houses, and I'm not using the actual ascendant or the midheaven in this particular chart wheel. So here we have the moon, there's the sun, new moon in Libra, 23 degrees, 53 minutes. And Venus is the ruler of Libra. And also, Libra is very much associated with justice. And that's why I'm using the wonderful picture of the goddess Mart, the Egyptian goddess. And if you know the story, it is all about the balance of the soul after death. If the soul is weighed, the heart is weighed next to the feather, then that soul passes to heaven, and if not, it goes the opposite direction. So we're looking at Libra to find balance. Now, always at a new moon, it's a time of rest, of stillness, before we get that beautiful crescent moon appearing. So it is the ideal time to write a wish list. And you've got 72 hours to do that, so no rush. The weekend will serve perfectly well. Now, Venus is the planet. Where is Venus? Down here in Virgo. And Virgo is not a really happy place for Venus. It has decorum, shall we say, Virgo. It is very much the virgin, true unto herself, but it's not to do with pleasure or sensuality, albeit it is an earth sign. So it is also opposite Neptune up here in Pisces, and that is moving towards in the next couple of days. So with Neptune, we never really we don't really know what's going on. It's like a cloud or a fog or confusion, scandal as well. So also, if any affair of the heart is pressing on you at this time, hold off. Don't make a rash decision. And especially wait for when Venus moves into her own sign of Libra near the end of the month. Now, what is so significant about this new moon is there's a huge tension going on, or been going on for quite some time, because Mars in Aries, the opposite sign, is there. Notice that red, strong red connection to Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. Now, Mars, because it's retrograde, is closest to the Earth, and many people have told me they can see it. It is literally red in the night sky. So if you've got a clear night and a good view, notice Mars up there. And it's very pushy. Mars is an aggressive energy. In Aries, it's its own sign, making it very, very strong. So with Libra, it's all about balance. So I would ask, first of all, what knocks you off balance? Is somebody in your world being very demanding or acting in quite an aggressive manner? And how does that make you feel? Being somebody pushing you, maybe, who normally aren't. They might be actually normally quite calm. But also, because it's a retrograde planet, it's one astrologer just says it's like driving with the brakes on. And that's especially true when it is in a difficult relationship to Saturn. Saturn is very much to do with the brakes. So we could also be very impulsive with Mars in Aries. Act now, think later is very much the mantra to do with Aries. So it's a good time to pause. Notice, it's at 20 degrees at this new moon. It's going to be exact with Jupiter, and then it will be moving backwards. And then, of course, the final pass, it will then be moving forward towards the end of the year. So pause. Are you overreacting, perhaps? It's important to keep wise counsel. And that's why it's interesting, because the goddess Mart is very much justice. That's what Mart represents, integrity. Are we maybe being too judgmental? That's the difficulty with Saturn. And especially with Venus in Virgo, perfectionism. perhaps. All these quite negative things are going on at this new moon. The other thing you might notice also, here's Mercury in Scorpio. It has just turned retrograde this week at 11 degrees of Scorpio, goes right back into Libra, and it affects huge numbers of us who have a planet in Scorpio. I have done a webinar, masterclass on Mercury retrograde, and I also will be giving for free a list of what planet you may have, according to how old you are when you were born, in Scorpio, and that's going to be activated 3 times if it's around that degree, from 0 to 11 of Scorpio. So also Mercury is opposite Uranus, which is also retrograde, and those days when that occurs, that opposition, can be a time of downloading information, things just coming out of the blue. So that's a key day. We've got 3 of those. So if you're very open to downloading or information coming from the ether, the higher mind is Uranus, then especially be aware at this time. So my advice, my counsel to you is not, as I said, not to be knocked off balance, knocked off your center. Pause, take care, use the restraint which is there with all the earth signs, to say, hang on a minute, think things through, ground yourself, go for a walk before you answer that email in a hurry. Make sure you recognize that the sun will be moving very soon into Scorpio, where it aligns very positively with the Capricorn planets. Very, very different. And of course, the co-ruler of Scorpio is Mars. So things are about to change in a good way in the course of the next week. So thank you for watching. Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com.